What could be better?
It is pretty good, all things considered.
Are we at the beginning of a turn? Is that where we are?
We are. It's the beginning of the 9 o'clock turn. So
All
we
right.
finished
So let me.
the 8:40 turn. I think we were at the agreement that nobody was on a level, although Eugene's corps was close. It was like 1 or 2 battalions shy of being on a level. Otherwise, everybody else is, if not healthy, happy. So that's something, I
Now,
guess.
the oh, on the French morale track, it doesn't indicate which corps are Allied corps.
Well, it's the forces that are allied, right? So
Or
French
how does that work?
allies. So some of the corps, for example, have
Right.
contingents of Spaniards or Italians or Portuguese or some other or the
Right.
Westphalians or whatnot,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know of any Spaniards or Portuguese, but
Oh,
well, there might be
we
a
we
batch.
got we got Spaniards over here on our side. Rick's got some Spaniards that are part
Oh,
of Friant's corps.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. These poor guys schlepped all the way from Spain to Russia. Not happy about their life choices, I'm sure. So,
All
but
right.
like
So
in
it
Eugene's corps, it's a mixed corps. So he's got some French units, and then he's got some Italian units. And so, if, for example, Eugene's corps was to go on to a level, like I think what is it, level one, uh, the French wouldn't modify for being on level, but the Italian units that are part of his corps would have a -1, for example.
right. Okay.
So
So
that's
that's how it works. Okay. I was
yeah, yeah, yeah,
curious
yeah,
about that.
yeah. So
So
it's basically just the Allies are a little less enthusiastic about their life situation than the French are.
less enthusiastic, huh?
Less enthusiastic. I don't know.
Well, not quite the same esprit de corps.
Promise them lives of adventure.
Yes. See the world, they said.
In
Yep.
place of Eugene's course, see the world and run away.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see. We got Grim Harbinger back from our friend from Scotland, or from the UK, I should say. So, what time is it over there? It's got to be 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning
It's
in
like
the
7 hours
UK.
ahead of us, isn't it?
Yeah, 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 yeah. He says, "Yep, there are Portuguese Legion troops there. So somebody's got some. I think they're the guys that are wearing the little. There's a little brown jacket. Somebody's got them. Maybe in
Yeah.
Nay's corps.
A's core.
Yeah,
Now that I mentioned that, I think there's some there. Yeah.
yeah. I seem to recall. It's a big. It's one big multinational. Yeah, there they are. The Portuguese Legion. They're in square, right there in the center. They're holding the line. They're defending
Holding the
they're
line.
defending Napoleon from the onrushing
All right.
Russians. So,
Let's see
A
if I.
tiny regiment.
well, you got to think there
At
was
least
more
it
of
was
them
in
when
the
they
past.
started off from Portugal.
Oh, okay.
They probably lost a
Summertime
few of their
cook at
colleagues
home.
on the way. Yeah, let's see. It's 3 a.m. in the UK. So Grim Harbinger is our colleague who watches our live streams. Was watching Battles of the Age of Reason last night.
Ah.
So,
Okay.
yep, yep. So, all right. Well, are we going to have a powwow here at the 9 o'clock hour?
Oh, I think we need to talk about the assignment of MUs, right?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
go ahead and
usually
start.
what
We'll
we do.
listen.
Okay. Well, we need to roll, I guess, for the Russians.
French just rolled. So
Okay. Here we roll for the Russians. A 15. I don't know what that is. handy dandy workbook. Russian 15. Kutayazov suicidal. We get 1 command point. Huh.
So
Obviously,
if the
somebody who
French
read
throw
War
an
and Peace.
assault, if the French throw an assault against the Moscow militia, then Kutaisov has to teleport there, try to rally them, and die.
That's hilarious. All
Good
right.
turn for the French to get at least 1 assault somewhere on the field to make that happen.
Yeah.
I wonder who would do that.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Also, if you could isolate 1 unit somewhere and
Don't give them ideas, Brennan.
He's helping us new guys out.
New
Yeah.
guys. New guys.
so that means the Russians have to launch at least 1 assault also in order not to have him like
Oh, I like
intentionally
that idea.
outspeed.
Yep, that's true.
Well said.
Russian
We've got the
players,
forces
the
to do
Russian
that.
player gets to make the choice of where they send Kutayazov. So, all right. Okay, I guess I'll see you guys in French HQ, and we can chat and figure out disposition of no
The French HQ.
coalition HQ.
Yeah,
Yep,
come on
sorry.
in.
Yeah,
There we
come on
go.
in.
All right. So I need at least 1 for the 3rd Corps, trying to get everything tidied up and redeployed here before the French come through the gap there at Utitsa Kurgan. So that's at least 1 Corps activation I need.
Sounds good.
Okay. What
While
all
we're
are
on the
you guys up to?
subject of the eastern wing there,
Yep.
do you guys want to look a little closer at sort of positions and prep and all?
Sure.
Sure. What are
I
your
have-
comments, questions?
I had a couple of interesting ideas. The first one is that the Russian grenadiers who are in triple squares and stuff in the center, their optimum fighting arrangement is probably going to be battalions in line when the time comes. Just because if a whole regiment gets disordered, then you're like losing 2x the increments.
Right.
from use.
Yeah.
Once they get there.
Yeah. I just had them out there right now because I'm trying to redeploy the guns back another hex or
Yes.
2 into the brush. So they were there
sure.
just as a deterrent.
And you decided to put the long range guns over on the right, peeking out along the road rather than in the more
So
central
the
location.
problem is that they are part of that 3rd division. So I can't disentangle them from the 3rd division. So they have to, they're not like Army reserve guns that I could send somewhere else. And so as a result, I'm like, the 3rd division's over there. If I have to switch the 3rd division with the grenadiers, it's going to be just this huge big mess as I'm redeploying as the enemy is coming up on my butt. So I'm putting them over there mostly for the sake of expediency because I didn't see a convenient way. If we'd thought about this maneuver, 2 hours ago, I could have swung stuff around in a different way and got them in a different spot. But given how little time I have, I didn't think it practical to try to swap places or move them around.
Yep. All right. And then a couple of other just thoughts. The militia, in particular, some of the guys who are rear center in that woods block.
Yep.
The militia generally do pretty well in swamps.
Yep.
Where the cavalry can't get them. So as the time arrives, conceivably they could work their way into the forward swamps, left and right of RMM and stuff.
Right. Yes. They were in the,
More forward
yeah.
rather than back.
Yes.
You probably want the militia to be wiped out completely before any of the mainline battalions even really get engaged.
Yes, and generally what I'm thinking is I will be fading. I've got this line of guys here facing the other swamps. I've got a bunch of Jaegers and people down there by the Kurgan, basically just to slow down the French as they come through there. And I figure I can, with the 3rd Division on one side and then the Grenadiers on the other, he's going to have to try to contend. He's coming into like a 3-sided box where he can get attacked on, 3 different flanks or 3 different sides, so to speak. So, a lot of the stuff with the militia and whatnot is purely that. It's just speed bumps.
Yep. I had a really interesting kind of thought along the course of the week, which is that in the medium term, if the French do start to make progress, you can almost offer them an invitation on the far east to move as far towards that supply source as almost you want to let them, because we don't really need that supply source, so that if you begin to need to fall back, like obviously you want to fight, especially for the choke points.
Yeah.
But it's not the worst thing in the world if they go deep, deep, deep right into east. That's fine.
Yeah. I don't know that they'll
Chuck,
do
are we
that,
all dry
only
screen
because,
then almost?
yeah, almost because they, then they would have their corps out of command, or they would have to shift everything over accordingly. So, right now, Napoleon's kind of in the center, and he's got Junot out on their left, who's still active. He's got, Davout way out on the right, but they're both at the full extent of Napoleon's reach. So I don't know that they're going that he's going to move much further east than where he's at right now.
Well, and then, so if necessary at that point,
It's Napoleon to Davout, and then Davout casts an additional 10.
No, Davout casts 6.
So how is I don't know. I don't even know who to say which one is Nansudi.
Nansude
Marat?
is he?
Does Marat
That's
just remain in command?
Yep,
He's
Marat.
outside of
Yep, Marat is magical. He can any cavalry corps leader he's stacked with is in command. So
Okay.
that's so he's got all that heavy cavalry over there, all that cavalry stuff. It could be, halfway to to Moscow right now, and it would still be in
They're
command
kind of
because it's
fun.
stacked
It
with
functions
Marat.
as sort of an independent army.
Exactly, but they can't do a damn thing in the brush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be scared to death if those guys were in the Fletches.
Oh yeah, I mean that's why there was no point in being in the Fletches.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
okay, great. That all makes sense. So if they don't go any further to the right, and we can watch Napoleon to see whether they're going left or right, then if they begin to fade or fizzle, then you can even draw the Eastern Russians, like collapse down onto the French if you want to, and start engaging. That's
So
beautiful.
if we go to the left, to our side, how does the Napoleon extend command towards our sector?
Well, I think, he's got to, if he comes forward a few more hexes, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So right now, Junot is at maximum reach. So if Napoleon moves forward, say another 3 or 4 hexes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Junot could fade a little bit further to the west. Davout can move up a little bit further, towards my position. But at some point in time, they will. I'm presuming they're going to have to cut Junot
You're
loose.
talking about the
That's the
JUNOT.
Westphalian Corps.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what, the 8th Corps? Yeah.
So giving them 15 hexes is a pretty sweet gift, really. It allows them to operate this thing much larger.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah, well, I'm not bitching about it.
Yeah.
If they had
The
Jan
big
and
part is that Eugene, the 4th Corps, he's got a long way to go to get back into Napoleon's command envelope. So they're going to remain fragmented in the far west, which is a good thing for them.
which is the area we're bringing our heat. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So that's a good place for us to bring the heat, because certainly they can respond, but it's going to cost them a lot of command points to activate.
That means every
Those-
division has to have a
that
command.
division. Exactly. Yep.
Yep.
And they move piecemeal.
Yes. Yeah. So they're
Nice.
all activating Higgly Piggly.
I got to think we're close to driving the French out of Borodino.
Yep, couple turns. Mitch, as your guards come to engage, speaking of assaults, there are a couple of useful things that your guards can do. They're led by their light infantry brigade, which is Beastrom.
Yeah.
He's
Would you-
up on the cliff there. He has 2 regiments of very, very good light infantry.
Be strong. Let's see. Where is he at?
He's up here.
Oh yeah, Bistrom. Okay, gosh, he's labeled. All right. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
So he has 2 regiments, and the Southern Regiment should be able to go launch an assault against the mill.
You're talking about these guys that are currently in what a Trillier or whatever they call it.
Yes, in skirmish mode. Yep.
Skirmish, yeah.
You
they have
should
a-
be able to get 1 battalion down here who will be able to assault the skirmisher, and you should be able to get another battalion here who should be able to assault the mill, which is weakened. And you want to hit the mill first, so that then the skirmisher perhaps may be surrounded when that second assault goes in.
Now, how am I going to go over that disordered guy? Or do you think I got enough
just go
movement
right
points
through
I can go around it?
Go through 'em. You're allowed to
Is
go
it-
through them.
Oh, disorder, regular order with disorder is okay.
Well, don't you have to stop movement once you hit an enemy Ezok?
Yeah, so Mitch the northern guy will be hooking around through the open.
Through the village.
Village
Yeah.
and orchard, and the southern guy will be nipping across the river, swinging wide outside the skirmisher and coming.
So I got
in.
1 to get into column,
Yeah,
and
2.
2 to get into a single hex. 3, how much is it to cross the Colcha?
Plus 2.
3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think I can quite get there.
Those guys go 9.
Or they go 9?
They're basically foot
Oh.
cavalry.
Okay, they hustle. Okay. So 1, 2,
So-
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got you.
And then your other regiment of those light infantry should be able to reach 1 battalion forward up next to the Borodino church in line and start getting firepower onto the church.
Mhm. Mhm.
So because you'll be moving that whole corps together when the time comes. So you should be able to either flip into skirmish, move through the cav and everything, or those people will clear out. But you should be able to reach up to the church, to this hex here, get in line, and start bringing good, strong infantry. Because the Jaegers have really good line firepower as well as skirmish.
And 18 is a heck of a nice number for melee.
Yeah, you don't want to assault the church yet, but the mill you do.
Wow. Okay, nice. Okay.
And then the other thing is you have Junot's 8th Corps coming up from your south.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important this turn not to get distracted with your light infantry to go down and engage them. So it's more likely that next turn you might go after them, because the guard's job is to move west and stage up to get ready to go after Eugene. You don't want to get distracted south.
Well, if the time's right, I can actually pull the sixth division, back into where those guards are.
Yeah, the best thing for the 6th Corps 24th Division to do is to keep moving down to the Great Redoubt.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's going to happen is your guards are going to go west and your 6th Corps is going to go southeast. And it's going to open up the whole zone next to the Great Redoubt, that big white zone, for my 2nd Corps, which is in the mid rear, to come forward, and the 2nd Corps can go after the French 8th.
I'm thinking I got to get some open lanes to use up the remainder of my ammo, so that I'm not stuck at the heat of battle with 1 or 2 shots left.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, no, we certainly want to use up all the artillery. So anyway, so those were some early thoughts about stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Shall we do command points?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I need one for the 3rd Corps.
I'll need one for B-Strong to put that together.
Well, you'll have one. I mean, you'll have one for Bistrom. Isn't your corps commander? Isn't Lavrov's your corps commander?
B-Strong can be activated by
Yeah, basically, Lavrov can activate everybody: the guard infantry, the guns,
Okay.
the cavalry, the whole
Okay.
kit and caboodle. So he's very special in that regard, in that you can move so much stuff with one command point.
Okay. So I probably don't need one for then Doctorow. In fact, I couldn't, because I can only do 1 core activation per thing, right?
That's right.
Right.
Mitch, you
Doctorow
could
would- yeah.
conceivably use your 2nd CP to activate Dorokhov's cavalry division, unless Eric needs that CP.
Now you're talking about the red ones, the ones behind the Great Redoubt?
Yeah, because what's happening is, your artillery and the guard, they're starting to get forward. And so before too long, that cavalry division is going to be slightly out of position. You might want, and it has initiative, but it has a bad initiative. That's just one. So if Eric can spare the CP, Eric got 1 already, he may need 2 more. If he only needs 1 more, then you might want to apply 1 to the cavalry division.
So
And how
what
many
are
of those
what are you
cavalry
taking, Brennan? You've got one for the Tolstoy's corps, and then one for what, Uvarov's cavalry?
I would use, I could definitely use one. It would actually be the other cavalry corps, the 2nd one, which is Korf.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at what's down there right now. You've got. I didn't know if these were left over from last turn or not, but you've got markers on the. Yeah.
And
Like
there's
Uvarov's
Platov's.
guys need a turn to rest. So the concept for the Russian cavalry is you alternate 1 corps, so
Right.
that one is resting while the other is attacking.
Right.
So
And,
if we can spare the CP from the Uvarov, I would actually put it up here with Korf.
Okay.
And so Platov has a nice chance of rolling, right? That's kind of the concept over there.
Yeah, he rolled, he already made it, so he's good.
Oh, good. Okay, so that's already a done deal. Do you need one for like your is it 4th?
Yes, they already have it.
They have one. Okay, and that's Tolstoy. I got you.
Okay.
So Tolstoy.
So we've got 4 CPs out on the map right now. We've got 2 left. So I don't need anything in the center right now.
Now it's now one thing that's cool is if I with B-Strong activated, those guard cavalry can do some of that frontal support, right? If we need to spare, not moving.
Yeah, the guard cavalry's primary job is to gradually work its way behind the guard's infantry. Because after we knock out the mill, and possibly after we knock out the church, the guards, cuirassiers, those are our 5 best cavalry regiments. They should be able to go past the mill pond and go up to the northwest and come up against the French cavalry from the opposite side from me.
Okay, he was just
And
flashing
the
away.
concept is to pinch the French cavalry, Grouchy's cavalry, and all that light cavalry between my stuff coming from the north and yours coming from the southeast, and actually like totally try to wipe it out.
I think it does maybe make some sense then. So if we give a command point to my Dorakov, is that he just moves 2 units though? Is that all he does?
He's got 4.
He's got 4. Those 2, the blue one, the red one, and the 2 green ones.
Yeah,
That's right.
The dragoons and then the light cavalry. Yep. And
Yeah,
so the 2 hussars and the 2 dragoons.
Okay, so let's do that. And yeah.
What that lets you do is, A, you can move to protective escort positions because the artillery is creeping forward and you need to reset the escort. The other thing is that activating that cavalry division, if the French do try anything aggressive, like they throw cavalry or something, it will give us an active cavalry division to go tear up them after they're tired or exhausted.
Okay.
Correct.
So I'm gonna grab 12, if that's all right.
Yep, that's fine.
If somebody will. All right, so I got 12 and 6.
Okay.
Make sure those are in the cup region.
All right. So you've got 2 command points that you've used, 6 and 12.
Yeah.
Okay. And Brennan, you've got 2. Brennan, do you need more than that, or are we okay?
We're okay.
Okay. So we still have 1 spare, which can be used on a division.
Eric, you're moving the 3rd Corps. You know what? One thing you could do, you have the 2nd Combined Grenadiers. They control a lot of the heavy artillery. You could edge some of the heavy batteries a little bit backward, because you did a good job blowing up the French cavalry that stuck its nose out.
Right.
But as the French come a little closer, that we actually don't need to be as far forward as you are. We could fade back a little bit.
So you're talking about the Kutayazov's battery? The one
Yeah,
there that's,
either that one
okay.
or the other one, or Lowenstern's.
Okay.
One of those 2.
Well, I
Either
can
one.
give a command point to Kutayazov, to the 27th Division this turn and move those guys back. And then I'll have to kedge some of this cuirassiers out of the way. And then I can move Lowenstein maybe next turn, giving the combined grenadiers a 1. So that'll work. That'll work.
Mostly just to backpedal a little bit so we don't get caught by a sudden. It's like a balestra kind of thing where it's a half tap and then a lunge, which the French could do. And the one thing that we're particularly scared of is their heavy cavalry coming after our heavy guns. We don't want to lose guns up.
Yeah.
You want 13 for Kutsayev?
No. I've got number 2. So he's actually part of the 2nd. He's actually part of the 27th. They're all part of the 27th, attached to the 27th Division. So number 13, I was going to roll for my light cavalry and see if they were able to do anything exciting. So Vasil, let's see, where's Vasilov? let's roll for him. And he passes. All right, and then I've got Karpov. And let's roll for him. And he does not pass.
Did you grab a marker?
I'm just going to grab this marker number 14 over from the other side of the universe.
That's
And
fine. I'm
drop
just
it
putting
on
it in
him.
the mix of ones we got in play.
Yeah, so don't put, did you put number 13 in the bin?
No, it's
Yeah, just keep it out. So
yeah.
I've got 2 and 3 and 14 are the ones that I have. And you've got 12 and 6. And then Brennan's got 4 and what else? Number 1?
1 and 15.
Okay, so we need a number 1. Okay.
We have 8 markers. Is that right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. Did Uvrov pass his check?
I'm not sure he gets one.
Not Uvrov, but Platov.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
Okay,
He did.
so that's all of our light cavalry.
Eric, in terms of pure command setup for Kutaisov's heavy artillery batteries, one of them may belong to the Grenadier Division. And so you may want, if you want to be prolonging all 3 of the heavy artillery batteries, although one could stay and 2 could move, you could put the shit
On Kutaisov.
Kutaisov because he can control artillery within 3. Or you can leave it where it is and leave 1 battery not unprolonged. That's up to you.
Okay, yeah, you're right, because that guy is 2nd Grenadier. Who are the 2nd Grenadier? They're back behind me. Oh, so they're part of that corps. That's why they'd all moved together before when they were part of a corps. All right, and just prolong them back 1 hex to the east,
You could move
northeast.
1 hex to the northeast kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'll
Like you
do
could
that.
move those 2 batteries back, or if all 3 are moving, then if all 3 are moving, you're probably better moving to the northwest because you want to be gradually converging that battery northwestward.
Okay.
It's going to begin cooperating with Barclay and with Mitch's Big Artie after it runs out of ammo and comes back across the back of the redoubt.
Okay. All right. Exciting stuff.
Good news is if we maintain the situation and I limber my artillery, it's within 5 of a road. As if
Yes, exactly. That's
so they
the
won't
point.
even have to move to get reloaded.
Yeah. Although the 6th Corps heavy batteries, their mission is to move to the east across the north corner of the redoubt and then line up around hex R12.
R12. Oh, you're talking which ones? Who's the leader?
This is Euler's batteries.
Well, you think an Oiler's going to move all the way down to R12?
Yeah, he needs to because the guards batteries are going to move west. We're going to want 3 heavy batteries.
And the guards
bearing down.
batteries, you're talking about Yermolov?
That's right. They're moving west and they need to because their commander is moving west.
Okay. So they're going to do kind of a switcheroo.
That's right.
Whereas Euler is going to go even.
He's gonna come around over towards to the east side of the Great Redoubt.
And there's plenty of opportunities there. Okay.
Right. So
Okay.
his job is he's going to use up his ammo, then he's going to limber up. And while it's going to take roughly 2 turns, maybe 3 to make that march down to R12. And the idea is while they're making the march, they will be recuperating their ammo.
And they'll be making their artillery rolls to see if they reload. Okay.
Exactly. So by the time they get to R12, it's going to take 2 or 3 turns. They should be re-upped clean with
Okay.
ammo.
All right, I got to go upstairs for just a minute and check on some bread that I'm making, and put the things in the cup if you're ready.
Are we good to go to the lobby?
Yep.
See you there.
I'll join you in a second.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. We've got a couple of people who've been piping in. Wardrobe Plays WW2 says Vassal is pretty cool, though it takes a little to get used to the best way to use it. Yes. I know that when I first started playing on Vassal, it was a little frustrating. I mean, you're used to doing everything with tweezers, and you've been playing with tweezers and games for, 30, 40 years. And then now you have to somehow use your keyboard for stuff. So it took a little bit of getting used to. I'm hoping that I can do a Vassal workshop or maybe a how-to video or something like that to let people know that it is possible to get out there and play, and it's a fun thing to do. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. Let's see. Danny Sakari says, I love Vassal. I couldn't play some games without it. For example, Mr. President from GMT. It's so huge, I had no idea. Yeah, so they're certainly big games or games that are going to be out on your board, out on the table for a long time. And playing on Vassal is one way to be able to play the game and leave it for a while and pick back up again without having to worry about the cat or the kids or the dust or the maid or anyone like that making a mess of the game. He also says,
If you
plus
can't get a
once you
big game
have
set up, though, it
Vassal
really
figured
is
out,
faster
it
to
just
play.
works. Yeah. What's
If,
that, Mitch?
I think even with a big game, like when we played Battle for Normandy last summer,
Right.
if you have it, I mean, just the physical game is much faster to play than the Vassal game. If really,
Yes.
getting things done.
Yeah, I concur. It is, generally speaking, easier. If nothing else, you don't have to scroll in real life. I mean, usually you can reach over the map and push the counters around. If it's a really big game like those Grognard, Death Ride Normandy. I don't know if you went and saw the room where they had that set up
Yeah.
there at Consim. I don't know what they had it on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big long tables.
Much as I like Chris, it's not really my thing.
Yeah, that's really getting into the weeds with that one. Well, and the game that you played, that Normandy game that you were playing with Clay and Mike, that took up a fair amount of real estate too.
Yep. It's a monster.
Yeah.
It's nothing compared to GTS, which I found to be like, really? You're going to play one turn in 6 days? One day. I guess I should say one day.
So what does GTS stand for?
Oh, it was a Grand Tactical Series, man.
Oh, okay.
They had one going on, one of the, maybe it was Utah. I can't remember if it was Utah or maybe it was Omaha. Like, no.
Yeah, that's well, and it's just like everything else. It's like that. Those guys, I guess it was last year at Consim 2023 that were playing Campaign for North Africa. And I think they spent the whole week and maybe they got, a day done or something like that. It was.
They should have skipped the logistics in that game and just played simplified logistics and air just to move that thing along.
Yeah.
There was just no sense in playing it full on for that situation.
No, and generally speaking, for like when we play out there the La Bataille stuff, you've got to try to play with some sort of rule set that's going to get you close to some sense of a conclusion before everyone's got to pack it up and go home.
Battle for Normandy was just perfect that way because we got 21 turns in, 21 days in, so that's 63 turns, and which was plenty.
Yeah, no, and you guys were staying up late playing that too. I would come into the game hall there, 10 o'clock at night, and you guys are still plugging
Yeah.
away while everybody else has abandoned the field.
Yeah, we played mostly after midnight. I mean, we started around 9 and we usually finished around 1, I think,
Right.
which, we got our money's worth.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the great thing about those conventions is that you really have the time to, play and get a lot of the game done in one fell swoop.
hmm
Um,
It did help that we were prepared and understood the rules. And we weren't like
Yes.
learning the game as we were playing. We had sufficient playtesting on our own part, just to get the feel for how the rhythm of this game.
yeah. Well, when Robert and I used to live closer to each other, we would get together, and this was when we were in high school and college, and we could get together on a weekend or a Friday or whatever else and play for 5 or 6 hours a game, and then, pick it up, a few days later or the next day later and play some more. So we would play like, World in Flames, and we would normally set it up in early January because we knew that we would have his mother's dining room table until until either Thanksgiving or if nobody was visiting for Thanksgiving, at least until Christmas. So we could get, almost 12 months of time where it's on the table. And so we could make, pretty good progress with World in Flames. That was like one of the biggest games that we ever played with any consistency. So
Does that include the whole Japanese theater and everything? Doesn't it?
yeah, we, there were some times that we just played the European theater, and you could usually get through a lot of the game with that. But there'd be times that we play both the European and the Pacific theater. And
Is that like an advanced version of Advanced Third Reich?
It's got the whole production economy kind of thing, and if you play with another one of the sets, it's got an entire political thing that you can do for the 1930s. They have, I think it's called the game was Days of Decision, and it's basically where you are playing. The Allies are trying to influence the various minor powers to, either stay neutral or to come over on the Allied side of things. Meanwhile, the Germans are working to try to get various minors to come over to their side. And because it's I think it had cards. I think it had cards or special events or something, and you would play then these different events. And then when you played the event, it would then list, okay, Romania moves one peg over towards the axis, and, Bulgaria moves this way, or Turkey moves this way, or Poland moves this way. And so you would then play these different things, and then it would have an effect on, the United States and all these other different powers. And so you could do stuff where, okay, you want, Germany wants the Swedes as an ally. You could play a whole bunch of different political cards that would get the Swedes as your ally. But in the process, you might then, lose the Hungarians or, whatever else. Or you could get the Poles to be your ally. I mean, they had all kinds of, basically kind of, the way it was set up was pretty cool because it could let you, do whatever you wanted to do. But you would just pay the price for it if you spent a lot of points or spent a lot of time trying to woo Turkey to become an Axis minor ally, then that was going to drive the Bulgarians away from you, and the Greeks would definitely go over onto the Allied side, and it had all these other repercussions that were kind of built into the system. So there were times that we played that. And then once we'd played through that, then we would set up World in Flames with then whatever those allies, that whole alliance structure in place, starting in 1939. So yeah, it was pretty cool. And so, I mean, that's the one game that I miss the most. And I know they have a vassal version of it. And so it's the sort of thing that, maybe Robert and I sometime would sit down and play for fun. But yeah, and then we could leave it up because it's on Vassal, and you could spend years playing the game.
That's what we've been doing with Goss Atlantic Wall.
Right.
We're on our 3rd year coming up. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, we've done a reset.
Right.
I mean, but the group that's been playing is on its 3rd year.
Right.
And finally had a good tournament on sector.
Oh, okay. Cool.
2nd Armored came in, hit hard. It's like when you get those real divisions, it's like, oh, thank goodness. That's some firepower. It's got mechanized artillery,
Right.
motorized artillery, the whole 9 yards. So we need all this stuff.
Let's see. William Arren says, considering games set in Russia/USSR, it would be interesting to see if any group of players could play the GMT Barbarossa Army Group Center and the 6 other games of the system with its 28 maps. Wow, that would be ambitious. I did see. I think there was a group of guys. Maybe it was last year or the year before that at Consim.
EFS?
Yeah, they had some big Army Group Center, or they had, but it wasn't Operation Barbarossa. It was 1945, I think. So it must have been Operation Bagration. Because the Germans were on the defense.
Interesting.
But yeah, that was huge. They had, I think they had like 4 or 5 players on each side. It was a huge, big table. But I don't know what game system it was. But yeah, it was. It looked like a.
Sounds like maybe OCS.
Yeah, it could have been OCS. I don't know the different the names of the different World War II games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so many different ones. And like I said, the last
People love
really
it.
huge, big World War II game we played was World in Flames. So, and I don't think I bought any games since then. And that was back, 30 years ago. So as far as
Is
World War II
that,
stuff.
Is that Army level or is it core level?
I think it's core level. Yeah. And then they had like they had the different supplements where you could then have artillery and anti-aircraft guns, and they had other little smaller things. So maybe those were, a brigade or a division, or I don't know what scale those were at. But I always liked it because you had the ships and then the names of the ships, and you had the airplanes, and then, so you'd start off in 1939 and you've got, the British have got, their little, what were the swordfish, torpedo bombers on their carriers and, all this stuff. And then slowly over time, you have to invest in better planes as they become available. And so it's always funny because, the U.S. has got like Brewster Buffaloes and all these other everyone's got these hokey old, late 20s, early 30s airplanes. And then, you start to get then the more modern planes that come into play. So yeah, it was a fun game. But that one took a lot of time to play. So that's the sort of thing that when time allows, more retirement time, that's one that Robert and I can get back and poke around with.
Are you guys feeling pretty happy tactically overall here?
Mhm.
Or do you know?
Oh yeah. I feel like the situation is starting to get more organized. And definitely this turn, hopefully I'll have a chance to unwind my traffic jam a little bit more.
Somebody say traffic jam.
I did. Busted.
Traffic jam. That is the story of all tactical war games there. Trying to get your units where you want them to be before it's too late.
6 is shoot no. Ten, 11, and 12 are patrol.
All right.
There, and 12 is
Looks like
13 is for to sell 13.
do 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 do.
The last one, you're done. $14. Did I?
I'm gonna mark some of the allocatable units to maybe different core command.
Am I missing? I'm missing 5, 6, 7. 7, 7, 7 is. Who is 7? Is nay.
All my moves came up at the end last time, so make sure you really shake that cup up well.
Yes, there you go. That is the secret.
French chits are heavier, so they stay on the bottom. And
Is that it?
that's it. I know they're weighted.
Yeah. I was talking with somebody the other day about when we had taken our trip to East Germany and how the little East German Deutschmarks or whatever we had to exchange, and how the paper money was like monopoly money from, Milton Bradley, and then the coins themselves were like aluminum.
They were aluminum.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, we could float this on our beer, kind of a thing. They were that chintzy. Somewhere I've got a little bag with all of those little coins and stuff that we just didn't have enough to exchange it back to U.S. dollars. I've got them somewhere in a box. So,
Yeah, I do too. Somewhere, if you, yeah, you could have a whole pocket of those and not even know you had them.
Yeah, exactly. So
Definitely would not work in a vending machine.
no. I don't think they had any vending machines over there while we were there. So nowadays, different story. So Deutschmarks.
All right.
Pretty much done with
So what do we got going here? So let's show me what's the command structure on the Russians here.
Well,
So,
that's starting from the east and working your way west. The Third Corps has got a CP. My little light infantry or light cavalry passed their check. This battery here has got a command point. Then
who's
moving
in
further
command
over.
with your light cavalry?
Someone named Vasilovsky or something or other. He's
Oh,
underneath
wait
the
a
little counter.
Oh,
Vasil Chikov.
okay. All right. So what cavalry is he?
He's over here.
Yeah, I got. And then which are you?
He's got I don't know whatever his light cavalry is. He's the
All right.
14th division. So
Okay. So
yeah. Let's see. Then the Mu number 12 is with the
did
Dykhtov.
did Karpov? He failed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next.
There's another cavalry division here behind the Great Redoubt that's got theirs set. Then there is Lavrov's Corps, the Guard Corps, and all its various and sundry friends. And then what? The Tolstoy's 4th Corps out here on the western edge of the universe. And then Korf's cavalry and Platov's cavalry out on the west. So those are our 8. So what all have you got kind of working from west to east?
All right. From west to east, we got to Husay up here,
Okay.
cavalry. We have the 14th Division and the Italian Guard Division
Under Lecce.
under, yeah,
Okay.
and Junot's Corps,
Okay.
Ney's Corps,
Exciting.
Guyot's Light Cavalry,
Right.
Colbert's Light Cavalry, and Pajol's Light Cavalry, or excuse me, that's Colbert's Light Cavalry up there. This is the artillery under Sauvier.
Okay.
And then the 3 corps over on the right, the 1st Corps and the 2 cavalry corps, and 2 of the light cavalry over here passed their checks.
Okay. Good. And then you got all the poles coming up the road there, it looks like. So
Poles coming up the road.
exciting stuff. Okay. All right. I think we know where everybody's at.
Let's do it.
Cool. All right. Well, David, why don't you go ahead and draw the first one? I'm shaking the
All
bucket
right.
here.
By the way, Eric, Clay Stone says hello.
Oh, cool. Clay
Right.
is a great guy.
He is. He's listening.
Okay.
As we're doing this.
Well, good. Okay, so it's the French 7th. So I don't know where the French 7th is. Is that out there on the west side of the universe?
Nope, that's in the
Right,
middle
so-
there. That's an
Oh,
A.
it's in the middle. Okay. All right.
Uh,
Somebody else want to draw a chit and move something? Presumably not in the center. Not all at once, people.
Well, Dave, so you're the Russians should draw one.
All right. So I
There
just
you go.
did. I picked number 1. So Russian number 1. I think that's out on the. Where is that at?
4.
it looks like
Yeah, that's
on the west side
Korf's cavalry. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, Dave, you want to go down to game room 1, and I can.
Sure.
You and I can chat while you move Ney about.
Let's see.
And then everybody else can watch what Brennan does with all of that evil Russian cavalry over there.
All right, let's see here. What do we want to do with all this here? What has he got in his core here? Ney is the third core.
He's got, what, I think the 10th Division, the 11th Division.
And then a 25th Division.
I guess so. I can't see everybody, so I'm not sure who's who. 10th, 10th,
Yep.
10th. So Ledru is the 10th.
25th is this
Oh,
stuff
that
up
little
there.
stuff out there. Okay.
So,
Is everybody in command?
yeah, let's see.
It looks like
Everybody in
this.
command.
It looks like these guys are out of command. Right.
Which guys?
The guys that are in square here in the thing. Right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, the guys in square are out of command. If they're part of the 25th. And then, well, I think that's they're the only ones that are part of the 25th that are out of command.
Yeah, I've got some artillery out of command down here.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, Ledru's the 10th. And looks like everybody other than that artillery is in command.
Okay.
Let's see, where do I want to head this? All right. Guess we can try the 10th first.
All right, that is Ledru. Okay, cool, cool.
All right, how do I want to do this? All right. Light, that's light. 1, 2, 3, 7. All right, so this light infantry back here.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Light infantry here. Let's see. Or how do I want to do this? Do this. This square here is gonna move up to there. That's out of square, bum, bum, bum.
Yep, yep. No, I understand. Even if he was in square right, he could have moved. It
He
just would
probably
have
still
caught
could make
1, 2, 3, right? You know, it would have been 2, 4, 6. So, yeah. But I get you. I get you. No, no worries.
Right.
All right. Got a nice little skirmish line going there.
This guy here, out of square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does he need to stay out of? Can he get out of square, or can he go back in? Probably out of square into line, maybe.
It looks like you still have some more guys back here.
Yeah.
They're not very big, though.
No,
I thought I had small battalions.
This guy here. Actually, so this guy here is out of square, and all right, so he's gonna move into there. He can stay in that. And so Drew is, let's stick him there right for the moment, but he may adjust slightly.
Sure.
Here, all right, this light unit kind of come up there, go into here actually, and what else we got left back here? Some guns. We got one more battalion.
Quick
feel like I'm
question, Dave.
missing-
Does it cost extra for him to go into skirmish in 2 lines, or is it still just the one movement point to change?
I think it's just the one.
Okay,
but
that's what I thought too, because it's like you're almost penalizing skirmishers because most of them have to go into 2 hexes if they're more than 3 increments. So
it might be 2. I think it does say in the rules what.
okay,
So
another knock against regs.
so he's saying, okay, so this one I'm gonna bring into his companion, one of his others here. And I think that's everybody for the 10th, right?
Yeah, that's all I saw.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Yes. Control V is 1 through 4, so he's gonna have to roll. I think these are guards, so they don't. 1 through 5. Through 5. That one needs to roll 2. Okay. All right. So I'm going to roll for this one to see if he limbers. He needs a 1 through 5. He limbers.
You did it.
And this one on top of here, he needs to roll also 1 through 5. He limbers 2. The other 2 are automatic there. So all right, let's see where 1, 2.
So they're going around the ditch, I suppose.
Yes.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Can they get there? Where was this guy?
Yeah.
Where did he start?
That one started right there, I believe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 to limber, 3.
Oh, okay. You had they were basically in these 3 hexes, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And so this one went there, and this one went there, and there was one on top here. Actually, the one on top here is that one
Right.
there, and the one
Okay.
that was out there went to.
Sure.
Uh,
Sure. I was just curious. I'm like, okay, because
Yep.
I thought
Mhm.
Drouot was over here, and so I'm like, okay, that's not 3 hexes. So, but Drouot was in the center, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. No worries. Carry on.
So, and actually, that's his. Put him on the. Keep him in the center there, whatever. So he's. All right. All right. Let's see. We've got some more guns here. Let's see that I can move. Where do I want to go there? Actually, I want this guy to go out just there. And actually, he moved with this guy to here. And then he went on to that other spot there. This guy here is going to go. What do I got in there? Oh, that's, can't get there from here. Okay. These are core guns, right?
Which ones? Well, they're not core guns. They belong to the 11th Division, so they're
Oh, they
they're
are the
part of
11th.
Razul's
Okay.
division.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they got to stay with it.
Yeah.
And there, all right.
I mean, the only core guns are, I think, this one that's out here. This one here, I think, was a core gun somewhere.
Which one?
Let me see here. That's a core gun, right? And this is a core gun.
Oh, okay. He
Yeah.
is a core gun, so he doesn't need. As long as he's in range of nay, he didn't need to be.
Well, but I thought Drouot, being a artillery special commander unit thing, can have somebody. He can keep people in command on his own, right? Or wasn't
He
there
can on his
something?
own, but right now he's under nay.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's moving with nay's core here.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to figure out why he didn't have an officer on him, but that's because he's
Yeah.
if
So
Nay's
as long
in
as Ney
command.
is within 6 of him, I guess then
Yeah.
he'd be active and could move.
Right. And this is the 12-pounder Wurtenberger. Where is he part of? He's 12-pound Wurtenberger. Is he the? Oh, he is a core gun also.
Yeah. Because he
Okay.
doesn't identify with a particular division. So like the 11th Division's got the little 11 marker on him,
Right.
And the 10th Division guns are the ones that are out of command further south. They've got a little 10 on them, so that's how you can tell whether it's a corps gun or a division gun. So-
Right. And vision guns. All right. So now, all right. So that's the 10th. Now, while I'm still over here, let me do my cavalry on over here. That's the 9th Brigade here. So that's this guy.
So I'm curious, with all those guns that are moving, how is it that you attach them to the core? Because the rules only say that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guns that are considered Army assets.
Because it was a special rule for those batteries out there. Remember Brennan pointed it out?
So it's not in the rule book. I mean, it's
It's in
not
the
in the
special rules.
Moscow rule.
It's in the special Moscow rules.
Okay, so it's got to be whatever
they can be.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the special Moscow rules, the ones that came with the game, and I don't see it. So that's why I was curious.
Oh,
So-
okay. So
It must be something that they did after the fact.
yeah, it's in
The regs thing.
Yeah. Artillery, the units listed below constitute artillery that the guard may only move or be part of a move once they are released. This rule concerning it applies only to the blah, blah, blah. For all other scenarios, units of the artillery of the guard are considered released as soon as they enter play. Once released, these batteries may be used as any other Army asset. That is, during the next command phase, they may be attached to any leader's command and would then be allowed to move toward that leader during the regroup. Alternatively, the artillery special ability could form them.
Right, but that's the Viel guard. That's not the young guard, right? So some of these guns that you have are young guard guns. So that's why I was confused, because they're not the ones here that are listed. They're not part of the old guard. I mean, it's not all guard guns that are released.
Well,
it's only
they had to be. They were in this their own little thing out there. Is very weird. That's I don't know.
right. But you would then, you can't attach them to the core, is what I'm saying, except for the ones that are listed there. What you would do is, and this is what we did when we played it, you would spend a command point to activate, say, Drouot, and then he would move all the guns. So that's why I'm confused about you moving. I mean, I understand the ones that are part of the 3rd Division or the 3rd Corps, but the other ones they're not part of. They can't be attached. Only these batteries that are part of the old guard can be attached. And then they list specifically, it's the 2nd and 4th Company of the Artillerie à Cheval, the 4th, 5th, and 6th Company of the foot guns. And so these are this is the young guard here, right? And who else? This is the young guard. So those two batteries wouldn't move. These guys are the young guard. They wouldn't move. These guys are the young guard. They wouldn't move. They would only move if they're within range of Drouot and you spent a command point on Drouot to move the guns.
All right. Well, that's not the way we've done it up to now, and I thought we were, that we were in agreement at this and this, but.
Yeah, I think it's the confusion is that not all the guard guns are guard guns that fall under that special thing. It's only the ones that are specifically listed. It's not. I mean, unless Brennan's found something that says, everybody's guns is a guard gun. so maybe if that's somewhere else, but I'm just looking at the book here. I'm like, those guns aren't listed. And so therefore they wouldn't be, you couldn't attach them because they belong to the Young Guard. So they should be with the Young Guard. But they start the game as part of the Grand Battery of the left. And so they are pulled out of there. But to move them, you'd have to spend a command point to have Drouot move them and whatever guns you wanted to. You couldn't. You're basically getting, you're moving the guns with one chit fewer than you should have, is what I'm saying.
And okay, we were, and again, we went through this, and I thought you brought this up last time, and actually the first time they moved, and the second time they moved, and the third time they moved. So I just been moving them.
Okay, well, I'll ask Brennan, because maybe, as I said, maybe he found something. Maybe there's something printed in some small print somewhere that I didn't see that allows the French to do that. But yes, I mean, I didn't recall them. But
See,
then again, it's been several weeks since they moved last. So
I mean, part of that makes it very restricted because they're nowhere near their corps or their divisions, and it's like
right. No, but they were.
But it was saying they could be attached, and it's like.
No, I mean the Moscow rules. Yeah,
saying.
they were set up to be like you spend a command point and then you activate that Grand Battery and then it moves, right?
And if you're
yeah, don't worry about it. Go ahead, finish your movement. We'll talk to Brennan and we'll figure it out. But
I have a command point on another one here and.
Right, yeah, the command point you have over here for this guy, that makes total sense because he's the commander of this Grand Battery here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's how they're meant to move, even though these units are they're all from different commands. And they're at the start of the turn, right, or the start of the battle. They even have some of the guns that belong to Davout's corps, right, that are all part of this thing. So yeah, and so that the idea is that you spend the command point on the artillery leader, and then they move the guns. But carry on with the rest of the stuff, because I'm sure there's going to be more chits to be pulled.
All right, so let me figure out where my cavalry is. So it's the 614, 514, and a 414. So there's the 614, there's the 414, and 514. Okay. You have a move on number 2.
Yep.
Who's that?
That's just on this. So just like you've got the move on Sobier, right, to move the guns, right? I've got a move on this guy to move the guns. Right. So he's just activating, and he can then activate this Grand Battery. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm spending a command point to move 3 guns, and and so that's why I'm just like, okay, it looks like you're, you know, in the old phrase, double dipping there. So
Not trying to. I thought we had hashed that out, and they've been under command of Nay, and they've been moving with Nay for a couple, literally every turn.
yeah, I'm sure.
But I
Yeah, don't
understand
worry
where you're.
about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. But I mean, just looking at the rule that's in the book, so that's why I'm wondering: is there something somewhere else on like the website where it says something that's different than what's actually in the book? The book is very clear. There's only 5 guns that you can attach to anything, and none of them are young guard guns. So that's where. That's where that's why I'm sure that's like, if Brandon said something, maybe he knows where it's at. All right, you've moved the 10th, you've moved some guns. You ready to move the 11th?
I'm looking at
Oh, okay.
at the cavalry. So actually, they can. Yes. Can't do that. Dang it. All right. There, don't want anybody there. All right. Yeah, that's all the so many decisions. Sorry, I'm taking so long here.
Oh, no, that's all right. That's what happens when you got a big core.
So, all right, so that's part of him. down. Where do I? Okay. Hey there. All right. Now, what are we going to do with the 11th? All right. So what using doing the nothing, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Gotta break down one of my things here. Let's break down the 93rd. Third, take him off of there. Him back over here. All right. Starting here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's put these two. There. here. All right. I think that's pretty much the 11th division. Got some guns back here. Let's see. Okay, so where's his command? That's for Zoe. These guns are.
Have you got everybody done?
Just about. I moved the 25th. I don't think I'm going to move anybody. Wait a minute. There's one. Oh, let's see. Do I want to? Yeah, I'll keep them in there. Yeah. Okay. I moved the cavalry. I moved the 3 infantry. I moved the other cavalry. That. Let's. All right. So those 2 become out. Will go out of command. I don't really have somewhere else. Well, let's see. Yep, I think I'm done.
Okay. Cool. Let's go find out what everybody else is up to.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay,
Because you might have to go that way.
I think that's probably the only way it can go. Okay. All right, now I'll move. I was not even thinking when I moved that guy back there.
Yep.
And
Who is for? Is that Brissier?
yeah. So we'll start with this guy here. He goes out of line for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he's in column here. And then this guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Eric.
Yep.
You're next on 2.
Oh, that should take the whole of
Changed into
half a
column
second.
7. Put him in here.
I'll
There we
let you
go.
go ahead.
Done.
Ooh, I need you to count those out, please.
I kind of figured you would. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
That was easy. And then what are we on to next? The
4.
4.
4 is going.
14 is next.
Oh, that's my light cavalry. So did you already do 14?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just moved up 2 hexes.
Oh, okay. And then it's French 4, and then it's Russian 14. Russian 14 doesn't really have anything to do. So we will be done with that one too. It's always nice when we roll well enough. Okay. That was easy.
So let's go, actually.
That's 13, French 13.
That'd be me.
Okay, so
Okay. Where are you at? Oh, that's that
these
light cavalry
guys
down there?
will change formation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One to change formation, 2, 3.
More things for me to shoot at.
And that guy just moved there. All right, I'm done.
Okay. Take off the moo marker.
I'm working on it.
And then we have regroup.
Regroup. Not helpful. Well,
The
slightly
polls.
helpful. Yeah, the polls will be shuffling about, I guess.
Oh, these both are the 53rd. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3. They can only make that.
Were those guys that you just, these guys here, are they, what was their destination hex? Which hex in Utitsa was
Utitsa.
their destination?
Yeah, that one.
This one here?
Yeah, but they're thwarted by your militia that's in the marsh.
Oh, so they have to stop?
10 hexes away, yeah.
Well, they can if they stop before they get in the they can.
Yeah.
But if they came within 10, then they automatically stop.
Okay.
One,
I'm just curious why. I mean,
I'm not.
because I can't get to you. Is it just a generic rule? You have to stop within 10, even if there's intervening forces in the way?
Yeah, it's an administrative march. It just says if they become within 10 hexes of the other, then it doesn't make sense to me either, but
Yeah, because I know in 5th edition, if it's a case where, like you're screening the enemy
Right.
and they couldn't reach you, then you could keep going. So that seems to be an interesting variation on it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right.
7,
Well, all
8.
the more reason, I guess, to keep that guy in the marsh. Slows down the polls a little bit.
Two, 3, 3.5, 4.5, 6.5. Okay, now okay. The train can make it there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oops. everybody.
There.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
There.
That guy will be
All
out.
right. Regroup is. Yeah, but I don't know these guys more.
Okay. All right.
1812.
14th, the 14th's been moved. So I'm done with number 4.
Hey, so what all happened over on this side of the map while we were messing around in the center?
We had some cavalry skirmishes.
Oh, okay.
It was heavy versus heavy, and then light versus light.
Okay.
And
And
then
which beer
the
won?
heavy, Robert won the light versus light, Chasseurs versus Russian Hussars, and I won the heavy versus heavy, Dragoon versus Dragoon. And then as the Russian Dragoons were pulling out, they got opportunity charged by a big stack of Bavarian light cavalry, and everybody bounced.
Okay. So pretty much.
Which was kind of convenient for you, actually, ultimately.
It was all pretty great. It was very even, results wise. And then the question is, where does it end up afterwards?
Right. Interesting. Cool. All right. Well, let's see. Where are
Robert,
we at?
when you move the Italian
Waiting for the regroup.
Joseph Napoleon Battalion, did you want to put it on top of the horse artillery battery on the cliff or underneath it?
Where oh, there?
Yeah.
Yeah, underneath so that I can unlimber the artillery.
Oh, very good. You're right. Of course. Thank you.
Because I can't, if it's on the bottom of the stack, I can't unlimber, right?
When it's on the bottom of the stack, he's with Hussein, right? So when you get the MU, you could move it to the top and then flip it. So like if I happen to get an attack before you had a chance to
well, then it would.
unlimber.
Is it okay if I put the infantry on top?
Yeah, and then
that would protect the artillery.
Correct.
That would be
Slightly
better.
more. Yeah, probably. Yep.
Okay, then we'll do that. Okay.
Hey, so
he
Brennan, while we have a little break in the action, David and I did have a question. I don't know if it had been answered before or not, but he's got guns that belong to the Young Guard division that he has listed as being attached to the 3rd Corps, but the rules don't say that they can be. Only the Guard artillery and the Old Guard artillery. So it doesn't specify that Young Guard stuff can be attached to other organizations. And so we had a question because he moved a bunch of stuff that was. I'm not sure if it's okay that it should be attached or it should be still down with the Young Guard. So.
Is that in the special rules?
So
Is
we
it
were
in,
looking
like,
in the
the
special
command
rules, yeah. So for it's the special rules that are the ones that actually came in the box. I didn't see anything online that seemed to contradict it, but it basically says that the artillery of the Old Guard, once released, may be used as other Army asset. That is, during the next command phase, may be attached to a leader's command and would then be allowed to move towards the leader during regroup. Alternatively, an artillery leader of special ability could form them into a grand battery. And it lists the specific 5 companies of the old guard that are the artillery of the guard. And so, David seemed to think that the young guard guns fell into that, and he'd been moving a bunch of young guard guns. There have been some that already started as part of a grand battery at the beginning of the battle. But my question was, okay, I could understand them moving when Drouot, as the special leader, activates them and uses a command point to move that battery and all those guns, and that's how they would move. But David was thinking that he could have them attached to the 3rd Corps, and then when the 3rd Corps
we'd
chit
been
came up,
playing that as attached, and that's the way they've been moving for a while. But I know this came up before too.
right? And so that's why that's why I was confused, because he said you'd said something about it, and I couldn't find anything in the rules, and so that's why I was curious where it was in the rules.
Yeah, we sort of released the guard as a whole, didn't we?
Yeah.
We did, but I mean, that would be we can't take assets that belong to a division and assign them to another corps, right? That the corps assets can be assigned to a division, army assets can be assigned to a corps division, but divisional assets can't be assigned to another corps or to another division, right? The divisional assets, in this case, the Young Guard guns, would stay with their division, or the French would pay a command point to activate Drouot or Saubière or whoever to get that battery as one battery. So we could still do it, but the issue was that it should be that the French are paying a command point for it if they're going to be moving that big group of stuff that's not all part of the same, corps. You could move it, but then you would just have to have it. You'd have to spend a command point on it. So that's
Right. I mean,
my question.
certainly artillery can be attached into a grand battery leader's grand battery. Certainly, right? I think I would have to read pretty carefully through several different bits of the special rules before I would really have an opinion on what that release part means in general. I couldn't tell you right offhand.
Okay. All right. Well, we moved the stuff around, but I just was curious because David had said that, that it had come up at some point in the past. And of course, it takes us 3 weeks to get through a turn. So if somebody had said something about it 3 weeks ago, a month ago, 2 months ago, it's likely that I would have forgotten it, or somebody's forgotten it, or whatnot. But I understand that the battery, you could spend a command point, activate the leader, and then he can move all the guns within his radius. But kind of getting a double dip where you can move that grand battery and the corps with one command point, when those guns technically couldn't be released or attached to the corps. That's where my issue is. So I'm fine with the French doing that.
Yeah, no, I don't
but-
get it. Like, what I
yeah.
would do is read those rules more carefully over the coming week. And
Okay.
then we could talk about it next week and then maybe make a decision on it.
Okay, cool. All right. We're ready to draw another one, or are we ready to put a pin in it?
Has
It's
everybody
been 2
finished their
hours.
regroup? Has everybody
Oh, yeah,
regrouped?
we had a regroup.
Group. Oh, I'm.
I would say
Let's
I
do
think-
regroup. Okay, regroup, yeah.
And that was followed then by reinforcements.
Oh, okay.
So, I think only the Poles need to worry about that.
Yeah, and they're stuck in 1812's largest traffic jam. So
It's always fun. The traffic jam of 1812.
Do I have anything I want to regroup?
Mitch, you have a lot of those guys who belong to the 24th Division. You regrouping them?
The 24th.
Bunch of
Dave?
green guy. I think you're doing it right now. Already.
Dave?
Yeah.
What do you
So
think? of
just a
the
question whether or not
Geneva
it's better to go
strategic
here
or
or go here.
Delzone?
Checkerboard
I
whenever
can't.
possible and
Let's
clear
go down
out.
to,
Don't stand in front of the artillery.
I could also go here.
Yeah, that's better because you want to make space for the guns to shoot, right? And that square is not in the world's best position.
Yeah, it's just really he couldn't move very far. I could move him one back
he-
less.
Could he stack here?
No, he can't make it that far. That's the point because he's stuck in square. And
Where
he can't
where
go
what
that
where
far.
was he? Where was he? Where was he?
He was. I think he was right here.
Okay, so
You
he
can
changes
take
to
him out
road
of
column.
square.
I can't. I
Just a
can't
row
change his
column.
formation during regroup.
Yes, you can.
No.
You can go into road, and then you can come out of road.
Under regroup.
Yep.
I thought I just read this. Changing formation, right? Because that would actually get if I can't restriction. What about bullet point? Oh, or to enter road column. I gotcha. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. So I can pull that bad boy off. That means these guys can move forward further too because they're not in a different. Okay, so it's cost me one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There. You like it that?
Sure.
Or is that? And these guys can do the same. And they can come out in line, right? When they come
Sure.
out of road formation. Oops. Oh,
It's
I still
quiet.
can't go.
Too quiet.
Did you have any regroupy stuff that you did, Rick?
Yeah, all mine's done.
Okay. Yeah, your guns started to move up. It looks like trying to catch up with
Yeah,
everybody.
moved up the guns, and then a couple guns in the woods
Oh yeah.
or brush.
Yeah. The brush stuff.
Nothing exciting.
Oh, I don't think he's supposed to move. He's part of that group.
How'd your game go on Sunday?
It went sort of well. We got things rolling. We actually got through the bulk of. We got through all of the Prussian movement. We still have a couple of. Well, I mean, we're close to getting the end of the turn activation coming up, but Michael got incredibly lucky with a long range shot, and the Prussians have, or they had, a artillery leader of special ability that could allow 3 batteries to combine, and he got killed. The first shot the Russians did. He rolls a special result, and it was an even number, and then he rolls for who gets wounded, and it happened to work out. So okay, the guy was adjacent to the target hex or whatever else, and then he rolled the result that got him killed. So I'm just like, okay, that's about as unlucky as it can get. So I mean, on the bright side, it could have been worse. It could have been Frederick. That's one of those possibilities that comes up frequently, where you could have an army commander get killed even when he's miles away from the action, based on this roll thing.
I've still
I
got
think
a
I'd hate
couple.
that.
Yeah.
Group.
All right, regroup.
So here's a question. During regroup, can this unit by the church change facing?
By the church, change facing. Let's
Is
take a
he
look
in
and
command?
see.
No, he's not in command. That's what I'm saying. During a regroup, can he change facing?
No.
He's next to an enemy, so he probably can't.
So it
I mean, it would
says,
trigger an
yeah.
opportunity fire.
So it says
That's a
during the
different-
regroup. So in command units that are not part of a MOO and not in an enemy zone of influence, but are in command, may change the stacking order, facing, and formation. Units may not extend into more hexes than they currently occupy, but that he'd have to be in command. Otherwise, guys that are out of command are moving to try to place themselves in command.
And if he's in his zone, he can't move anyway. So
Yeah, he's stuck there.
Well, I
If
was
he's
ready to move
adjacent,
down.
doesn't have to be in a zone, it's just adjacent.
Units that
Which
are
that
out of
guy is
command and
sadly
not
That guy's
adjacent.
stuck. We have to clear out the church before that guy can go anywhere.
Gotcha.
You do have several battalions north around the upper mill. You could move them. They could go across the upper mill because like everything's blocked down south. These guys here, there's 3 of them.
Oh,
They could
okay.
head that way. Yeah. Would be helpful if they did because that's space I could use in there.
Yeah, and they are all out of command, and they're not adjacent to anybody. So yeah, you could move them.
Yeah. And
The other thing you can try to do is limber these 2 batteries.
well, that's kind of I was wondering about those too.
They can limber. I'm about to clear off the road behind them probably next turn. So, but they could limber now. It's worthwhile.
Can you imagine how crowded this would be if we had the ammunition wagons?
Oh my gosh.
So I'm starting playtesting Alau 5th edition from Clash of Arms, and I've got ammunition wagons on the map because I wanted to
Was it
playtest
2
it
limber?
with all the. Yeah, 2 is a. Usually you're trying to roll low, I think, to limber, as I recall. Yeah, you want to roll low. So a 2 is going to get everybody.
Just, yeah, Control V tells you what it is.
That one does not. Okay, so this guy does not have a path, though, right?
It's, just leave him limbered. He shouldn't move anywhere yet.
Okay.
Because we don't want him to get in the way. But he's good right there.
Are you okay with where I put these guys?
Yeah, that's good.
I got a long haul to get back to their leader, but that's the way it goes, I guess.
Take me to your leader.
Mitch, there's a couple of infantry groups you want to change if you can. This group is blocking the artillery behind it.
Okay, but I was worried about. Okay, so here's my options, right? So I can
get here?
think there,
Can you get here?
but then that's going to block my my horse.
That's okay. The horse is going to move later.
But how's the horse going to move if I block
It's
this?
going to. The horse has an MU. It's going to loop backwards around the redoubt and come out the other side.
I see. Come around the other way. Okay, all right. They can both go there. Where do you like these guys? They can go there instead.
Because then the artillery can crawl forward.
Fair enough. I was wasn't thinking that they could go. The horse could go all the way around the backside, but of course they can't.
Yeah. The hunters are incredibly fast. He's going to loop all the way back through, and the whole division is moving. So the dragoons and gray house are going to clear the way before the blue guy comes through.
Gotcha.
Very complicated here. A little dance.
Very much so. Yeah, it's hard to maneuver one division out and put another one in.
Yeah.
It takes roughly an hour to work stuff around.
I'll be back in just a second in case something comes up.
Sure. I don't think anything terribly exciting is going to happen. Should we stop it here after we're done with this, or do we want to keep pressing forward?
I can go for another 45 minutes.
Okay.
I can go now.
Yeah, I can go for like another half hour or something. You want to just do another chit or?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's.
I like 30 to 40 minutes. That'll get us to a round hour or so, and then.
Okay. All right. Next chit is number 12. That is those cavalry that Mitch has there by the Great Redoubt, followed by French 12.
Oh.
So we got 2 12s in a row. I don't think they're going to bump into each other necessarily. Well, maybe they will. I don't know. What's Guillaume doing?
Oh, what's he doing? Heck if I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brennan, did you have some thoughts on these cavalry as to final position?
Yeah, so your chit came up over here, Mitch, for that cavalry.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Well, they're obviously blocked by their green infantry, and they don't want that to happen. So, and the other thing to watch out for is heavy French artillery to their south. What are the French guns looking like down there?
Well, this is that group of guns that he limbered up for the third corps. So he's got that grand battery that had been here. He's moved it forward about 3 hexes. So that's what's going on down in that neck of the woods.
And they're like limbered or something still.
They are still limbered, yes. They have not unlimbered
Okay,
yet.
yeah, let me do a little thinking, Mitch, on it.
Okay.
Gonna take me a couple minutes here just to look.
Mm-hmm.
We still have a dedicated 4 people watching. Apparently, Grim Harbinger said that he fell asleep. We have to make things more exciting, gentlemen. Have to have more
need to have
witty,
sound
witty
effects.
banter. Sound effects? Is that what we need? Do I need to get
Hollywood
one of those
sound
little
effects.
little penny whistles? Wah, 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 something like that. Or we could play.
So Mitch, you could conceivably.
Maybe Eric, do you want to move some of these guys out of the way?
They're skirmishers, so I move them back as far as they can go. I mean, their
Oh,
leader's
okay.
right here, so they can't really go any further because.
I didn't see that guy. I was just like kind of wondering.
Yeah.
Mitch, you could conceivably throw a suicidal charge to try to take out the French limbered 12-pounders, but it's probably not going to work. They have
I don't.
just enough.
Yeah, let's not do that.
So then we're in defensive mode. And you're in
Yeah.
defensive mode. Are there any French artillery who could bear on you? So the big battery is limbered. And so it won't be shooting in either the artillery or the artillery chit or firebase. So you could probably filter south of the redoubt someplace. Let's take a look at some of those.
I mean, he's got a little tiny baby guns here, but that's about it.
That's just you don't have to worry about that. Yeah. You could set them up.
I was thinking about here, but that's
well, I
here.
You like them? You like them there?
Here. And that you could move move the gray hussar out to here.
8 to there.
No, that's not a hussar. That's a dragoon.
Oh, sorry.
That's probably Sumi hussars.
9.
Yeah, Sumi
9 to there.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you're going to want the other hussar.
I'm thinking like here.
What are you saying?
Like maybe here.
Yeah, I would go back a hex or 2 from there. Although, are you blocking your fire zone? You're not really. So you're going to need to move this division again next turn anyway, because the heavy guns are going to unlimber and chew you if you don't. So then you're looking at putting the commander. Commander probably goes here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And then, so the commander commands the hussars, and then he's got a brigade commander who commands the dragoons. The dragoons could go, you probably want to keep them fairly faded. Maybe move this guy like here-ish, and then put the dragoon brigade commander, like here or something. And maybe here, you want a checkerboard for sure. Like don't stack them up against each other. Yeah, that's kind of something like that. This one could face south conceivably. So that's a quick look at them. So now you've got this guy covering this way. You got this guy covering this way. You've got artillery covering that flank. Plus,
should I put this guy? Should I put this guy into like multi-line, multi-hex? And this
no, not really. He'll get too big too fast. You could put him here or here.
Well, but then the command span gets tricky, right? Unless I get 6.
Yeah, right, exactly. So that's roughly probably the best you can do at the moment. And then this brigade commander has to be within range of his main leader, so he goes here. This
Okay.
guy goes here. Now he's got 3 to his guys, and he's 3 from. So that's about all you can do.
Okay.
Exciting.
I could put one of the cavalry out here. One of the heavies.
Yeah, you could. You could. The question is, you could put the hussar there, but he's out of range. You're out of command range to really do that. I don't think you can start. That's Eric's zone with his next cavalry.
Yep. I've got
Okay.
the 12th and the 13th over there covering that.
You're mostly
Part of
just
the
trying to
universe.
give enough coverage to prevent a sudden rush by heavy cavalry on the front. Is
Mhm.
mostly sort of what. And it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than nothing.
Okay.
And it is
No.
vulnerable, like you're starting, because he's starting to come forward and you're starting to, you've needed to, because of the green infantry coming up behind you, you're a little pressed for space. So it's pressing you out, squeezing you forward, more forward than you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if the regroup had come after, I could have faded some of these green infantry, back this way a little bit.
Next time, next
Yeah.
turn. Yep. Next chit.
All right. Let's see. So, David, you're done with French 12?
Yes.
Okay. It's the artillery chit. The big bad artillery chit. So I don't know where you want to start. We don't really have anything to speak of out on the east side of the map. Well, there's, I think, 1 or 2 occasional little pieces out there. Otherwise,
Well, we got some stuff that can fire over here in this
yeah. So why don't we start over on
F-22
the
sector.
west side of the map and work our way across.
Okay. All right. So I have these 2 guns here.
Okay.
They're 1, 2.
We got
They have
three
lots
yeah.
of targets.
Yeah.
Lots
So
of
I think
targets.
we'll shoot at the Uhlans and then we'll roll through on the heavy cavalry behind.
Well, only this one would roll through because this is short range.
That was short range. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
But
short
the second
range.
one will.
Yeah.
Th-
So
th-
so
this-
this
this
one,
will ricochet.
that one will ricochet, but the other one wouldn't because they're not using round shot. Well, they are probably using round shot and canister all packed together, but the rules don't have you do both.
So you have 2 to 1 on this guy.
2 to 1.
Is that right? 4 plus. No, it's actually 1.5 to 1. It's 1.5 to 1 on that.
You've got 8 plus 6.
Oh, sorry, 14, 14,
14.
yeah. 2 to 1.
14.
Yeah,
2 to
2 to
1.
1.
Now, why is it's in line? What
It has
is-
more than 6 increments. Line at 6 increments or less has line defense. Line at 7 increments or more has column defense.
Oh, more rules to remember. Okay, so 2 to 1 then.
Yep. With a plus 2 for
54.
Grouchy.
So
That's a hit.
That
50.
is.
4 plus 2 is 56.
Yep. So that's just a single hit, I believe.
Passed his morale check.
Yep.
And he passes morale check. So then these guys would keep rolling through.
It's 6 minus
6
Did we say
to
3?
6. So it's
1 to 1 minus 6. Yep.
1 to 1 minus 6.
Yep.
Oh, no, that's not going to
It's
do
a
it.
miss.
And that's all. It ricochets farther, but it hits the slope and doesn't roll up it. So
Yeah.
that's all.
Right. Okay. All right. So that's those two guns.
A little depletion. Should go.
Oh yeah, I didn't know. What's etiquette? Do you count up or do you count down?
We've been
Count down.
counting down. So you start off with 12 shots and then you.
Or you're up when you got to 12?
Yep. It's kind of like going to the bar, Robert. You start off with 12 shots on the bar. Take one. How many have you got left? 11. Take another shot. How many have you got left? 10.
Okay.
By the time you get down to those last couple of shots,
Hey, I could be an anarchist and want to count up.
you could. That sounds like the sort of thing. Well, what you do is you count down for the first half, and then you count back up for the second half. And then we wonder why you're at full ammunition supply.
Oh, I like that idea too.
There you go.
Okay.
I like that idea too. All right, so that was that little burst of stuff. Anything else? It looks like there's some Russian guns, or
Yeah, down here. Maybe
there's
give
some
them
more French guns.
There's a
I think
gun
these-
there.
Okay.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 4 to.
Where are you shooting at? What's your target?
This is the only one I have, I think. Right?
You've got a target there too.
I like this one here. That's a great target too. They're wearing green. They're wearing green. They look like they could be Russians. Wearing green jackets.
They're on a
There you go.
stealth mission.
There you go.
Yes, we'll just turn them around instantly, and we'll lead you in. Okay.
Now, this is an interesting question. Now, this has come up in our. I don't know. So okay, let's consider this unit here.
Right.
If you put the line of sight marker on this boy, that does not clip this one, I guess. It does not clip that one. It's close.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
it
You're on
actually,
that, yeah.
and it does say a corner does not block a vertex. I don't know where exactly it was. Remember, Brennan and I found that a long time ago.
Because I was gonna say I've also played that the corners do count.
An edge blocks it, but a corner. I mean,
That was an edge
as
different
long
than
as
a
it's
corner.
going right through the point of the corner, it doesn't block.
Okay. Well, we'll just go after this guy, and it's what, 1 to 3.
Yep. Go
No,
throw the dice and
or
see
one
what
to
you
three.
get.
1 to 2.5, right?
66.
That's a hit. Any way you slice it.
That's this one here, Robert, right?
Yeah.
It's a sweet roll. They passed.
What's the morale of the top?
All the NCOs die.
Oh,
instead
he's
of
a
officers.
whatchamacallit, isn't he? Grenadier.
Yeah.
Grenadier, yeah. Morale's 22, and that's 23, and that's okay. He's
No.
stacked with that a lot.
Right. So, but yeah.
I think that's it for me.
All right. What kind of Russian stuff do we have over on this side, if any?
Unfortunately, these guys are blocked, but we do have some shots maybe here. The middle guys. Six. And let's see, so 9, 18. Now this one is in range, finally.
Yeah, it should join because your Moloch is there to
Yeah.
help out. Why not?
Yeah, so we can do that now. So that's a 5, 9, and 9 as a 23 against these guys.
One is
Right.
9 fire defense, so it's 2.5 to 1.
With a plus
And it's a plus 5.
5.
Oh, that's
Oh.
that's what
two
we were
hits,
looking
I
for.
think, right? At 2.5 to 1.
Yeah.
Yep, 2 hits. Bing, bing. Those Westphalians are unhappy. I don't know. Is that it's your Michael? Are you handling Junot's corps?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so those guys there got pasted with 2 hits. They've got that's 5 increments, so they've got 3 left.
Is he here? Oh, he's muted for some reason.
He might be asleep.
No, he's doing something.
Ah,
That's
Somebody
there
put
he
a
very
mark on
funny.
it.
You guys are comedy. Anyway,
Oh, so what you do is instead of putting more markers on it, just you can change the 1
Yeah.
up to a 2. Yeah,
Yep, there you go. And then just
See
roll a
how it
morale
is.
check.
make a morale check. 42. I'm sure they're happy.
yeah.
They're gluttons
Oh,
for
yeah.
punishment.
I got another
Sure.
shot here with Barclay against the stack here, as I understand.
1 for 1.5.
And I got both
The
these.
plus
so that's
5, yeah.
and
14, and he's got 15 fire defense. He just beat you by 1, so it's 1 to 1.5.
All right, plus a bunch.
Yep, plus 5.
Nothing.
Not today.
Not today. Another day. Decreased my ammo. That's all my
Michael,
guns.
yeah, Michael, you've got a shot over here with those guns on
Yeah.
there somewhere.
I think I'm gonna shoot at your hussars. Yeah, I can. They're not too far over the side.
So you got
They are blocked by the line of sight.
What's that?
No, they aren't. They're on the same level.
Yeah.
Is that hex all the way up, or is it a slanted hex of which the right half is up and the left half is down? Doesn't matter. You call it. If it's all up, then it's all the way up. That's fine.
Well, you got to.
And they can see them.
I'd say they have a steep slope up to them. Then
but then they're
Fine. Good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
They're hex up. That's perfectly fine. Yep. Okay, great. Go for it.
So it's going to be 3 to 6 with a plus 3 or something.
That's 5.
So 1
may
to
actually
2.
be a plus 6.
You got a plus 6?
Just go ahead and
That's
roll. Just roll
Yeah,
the dice and we'll figure it out.
Good point.
If you roll badly enough, yeah, okay.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No.
All right, let's deplete.
And theoretically, half the firepower ricochets to here, but that's not enough to hit a square hit. So.
Yeah.
I got nothing else I can fire.
All right, David, I
That's the
think you've
point.
got this battery here that's in the woods.
Yeah, I got that little one in the woods there.
Yeah.
So we got 5 shooting against the only real target they got. These guys out here. So that's
5
1
to
to 3?
6.
No, it's a 2. Oh, but you got 2 guns. I apologize.
Yeah.
it's 5 to 6.
So that's 1 to 1.5
half,
with
it's
probably some
51.
pluses. So that's good enough for a single hit.
That's it.
Off some ammo.
All right.
All right. I'm not going to fire at anything, but David, you've got this other little battery that's over here.
You gonna make a morale check for that guy, or did you?
He did. He rolled
I
a
did.
26.
Okay.
Yeah, so they passed.
Thank you, though.
Yeah, there's 16s. Not likely to
Yeah.
worry about something like that.
I flipped in the whole 9 yards.
All right. All right, so you move that guy back into there.
Yep, he's still a target, but yeah, because you can still see him. 1, 2, 3, 4.
But actually,
5.
I think I'm going to shoot at the square up here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 3 to 6. Okay.
So,
Nope.
2. All right. Anything else on the far right?
Nope. Did you update his exciting ammunition
Nope,
expenditures?
I did not.
Oh,
But I will right now.
there we go. I don't have any guns that can fire. Well, I do, but I don't think I got anything in range worth shooting at, so we will skip that. And there's not anything else out on Rick's side of the map, so that takes care of that.
I think. All right. Do you have something that can fire over here?
Are you talking to me or Rick?
Yeah, you.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could, but I'm opting not to. My commander is there, and I can say, don't
Okay.
bother to
I
fire.
thought I was going to ask if you have a commander.
Yeah.
It's not an option if you don't. So.
Yeah. I've got a commander there. So.
All right.
Okay.
I think we've finished the artillery. Huh?
Yep. Let's see. Let's see if do we want to do any more, or we're at about 20 minutes till
I'd
the
say
hour.
pull more.
Pull one more. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 more, depending on the size of the.
All
drone.
right. It is the big red one. It is Devue's Corps, right? And followed by the Moon number 5. Is that also out on your part of the world, Rick?
No, that's
Mine.
that's Robert.
Oh, okay.
Robert.
Well, that'll work. So, Rick, why don't you and I go down to game room 1 while
All right.
they figure out what they want to do?
All right, let's see.
Pick a division. Pick a division, any division.
All right. Jeez, it's a whole division, huh?
You don't have to
The whole
move them.
core.
You don't have to move them. You just leave them where they're at. Let Robert do all the work.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. How can I get my guys out of command here? We will start over on the left side of the woods.
Okay.
We will activate Moran's division.
Cool. He's the 1st division. All right.
No, change that. I'm gonna activate Campons or whatever.
Campons. Campons has got the brown pants.
Guys,
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So the 17-7, the 25th, going to go to line.
Okay.
Do I have to extend into multiple hexes?
No, you could keep them all in one hex, I guess.
Only 4
for
can
stacking purposes.
Yeah,
what's
only 4
stacking
can shoot
say?
out, right?
Yeah, I mean only 4 are going to shoot out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move to there.
Okay. Cool. So that's it cost you 5 to move there.
Yep.
Cool. And I guess I can move back to avoid being in your face. So there we go.
Okay. And now I will move. Gonna go 2. Wait, there's somebody under him. Who's under him?
Somebody who's out of command. Who is that? Oh, it's
one of your
my.
guys.
Oh, yeah. Somehow they must have gotten moved. I knew I had some guys over here. Okay.
Sorry.
No, I think these were the ones that were here. Okay.
Okay. Then I will move, go to line and go to there.
Okay. I guess so. That cost you 4, 5, and I will move here.
And then these guys, 57, 57, 57. So we're all going to form up in this hex.
Exciting.
No, it's not. It's not too easy. All right, 57. Let's go grab him. Mm-hmm. Where was he?
Well, you had some guys here, so it would have been
Yeah,
like
so that's where he's at.
1, 2, 3, 4 to get there. Yeah, so they would all be consolidated in that hex.
Hunky dory. Okay. Now, do I have any other? This guy. I'm gonna go to 4. And where is the leader for these guys? There he is.
Yeah, he's stacked with the Vu right now.
I'll just move him over there. Don't see anybody else associated to him. So Freon. What the hell are you gonna do?
So
Yeah, go ahead.
this hit should still be on that unit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What am I going to do with you guys? Swamp costs me.
Swamp costs 3 for infantry. Brush is 2. Swamps are 3.
Okay. We're gonna go 1. Let's not move him yet. 1, 3. So that'll be total 4, 5.
Nope,
6.
that's gonna. Yeah, it costs extra 2 to go there. Yeah.
Oh no. It would cost me an extra 3 to go there, right?
Oh no,
One
these
gun
guys are
hex plus
Jaegers
2.
actually. They're not. They're
Oh, the
not.
little guys?
Yeah, they're infantry.
Oh.
Yeah. These guys would cost you something, right? Because they've got a range out this way, right? But
Right.
you're fine where you're at right now.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. So 5, 6, 7. He's gonna do the same thing. Oh, 1, 2, 3. And go up to there. 4, 5.
Where did he start off?
Uh,
Oh, he was there. Okay, so 1.
2,
That's
3.
going to cost
Oh,
no,
no,
that's
no.
going to
Yeah, yeah.
cost 5.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
Correct.
And so he doesn't have enough to get there.
Yep, yep. Thank you.
It's all part of my making things sticky for you.
Fine, 1. 3. Mhm. I'll probably form those guys up in a second if they have everybody.
Yeah, I don't think they can.
Oh,
They
do
can't
have
move into the
everybody?
marsh. You can only move them in a battalion at a time.
Got it. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Where are these guys from? Oh, okay. Let's see. Anybody else? Guess I gotta move these guys. The Spanish, huh?
Yep, those are your fine, motivated Spanish. They are Joseph. I think it's Joseph Napoleon. I think it's his
Now,
little guys.
can I see across?
Can you see
So if I
across
want,
what?
oh, never mind. I have shit in the way now. Never mind. Can 1, 2, 3, 6, 6. I think I have 2 in there, right? Let me look at the stack in. Marsh.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
1
It says
battalion,
1
10 in
battalion.
general order.
So any 1 battalion or 10 in general order.
Yeah, so that's fine. I guess you could have a battalion that's pretty large. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I always read the rule to be you could only have 1 battalion in that terrain. But Brennan seems to think that it's
Mm-hmm.
10 in general order. So
Yeah.
I guess if you have 2 battalions,
Maybe you can't form up in it, which
I
would
don't
make
know.
sense, right?
I mean, it's general order terrain.
Well, it's a swamp, so I couldn't
Yeah.
have a regiment there. So maybe
No, you
it's
couldn't have a
one way it's
regiment in
worse
it.
me not to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're okay. I think we've been allowing. So, but I mean, the regiment can't move into it. It's too big.
Okay, he's done. I'll have these guys, the DSX or whatever.
Desai.
I'll move up to there. Two, 4. Move him to there. 2, 3, 4, 5. Freaking cavalry's in the way. All right, 1, 2, cultivated for artillery is
Artillery cultivated is 2 movement points.
2. I'll get there, damn it. 1, 2.
I mean, they got a movement of 10.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10.
Yep.
Okay, so I think I'm done with all of that group. Morand. So 2. Wait, who am I moving? Let's look real quick. Morand. 2, 4, Oh wait, no,
Nope,
no,
nope.
you got guys all
Yep.
over there.
So
One,
that's
two,
it's gonna cost 4 to go there.
yeah. And the next guy is not Rand. These guys are all mixed up. There you go.
It's what we call
2,
situation normal.
4,
All
6.
mixed up.
I don't know what you're talking about. 6. It's just, I guess I could move the other guy first, but it's fine. Rand.
You mean Gerard?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, he's only got 2 regiments from the looks of it.
6.
Yeah, it looks like Moran's only got. Oh no, Moran. There's 3rd. There's Gerard's got another one over there too. But that's all.
I'll move that to there. 5, 10. Moran's gonna move to there. And then I'll move Gerard now. 2, 4. You feel like I'm getting in the danger zone. 4, 5, 6. Because you're fuck.
Yeah.
2, 4. I got organized. Cavalry in front of me. With artillery, I guess. Do I want to move that? I'll just move to there for now. Try to get everybody together. Think I'm good. Did I get everybody? I moved everybody. Okay, everybody's in command. Cavalry had their own MUs, so I don't need to move. Those guys they've already done that. I think I'm done.
Cool.
Everything else is out of command and moving. All right. Cool.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right, back up with the rest of the gang.
Hi.
Okay.
All right. Well, we
Think we're
got
good.
that done.
Yep. I think is everybody. She's got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think you're good there.
All right.
And you're in a checkerboard. You got supporting things there and everything. So.
Right, and I think that these would face the vertex. They have to conform with.
Yeah, we were discussing that way. I was going to look in the.
Yeah,
but
I'm
yeah,
pretty
I
sure
think you
that's
may
what
be
it
correct.
said for the rules.
So they have to go like this.
Yep, think so.
They face they face a hex vertex. Units in the earthworks. So you could face them that way. You could face them another way, but they have to face a hex vertex. So they wouldn't be in column. So Cool. All right. We want to put a pin in it here. It's been 3 hours.
Oh, 12:59.
Yep.
Sounds
Yep.
like a good place to put a pin in it.
Okay.
Put this over here.
Oops, save
Let's
the
go
game.
ahead and save it here. This is
Well, I'm
Moscow.
still consolidating my guys real quick.
The
Oh,
okay.
you're still doing some stuff?
I'll wait.
Well, I'm
to save.
putting the replacing the battalions with the regiment.
Oh, okay.
So when you're done, let us
save.
know, and we can save the game. And
Oh yeah.
anything fun happen over there?
No. Well, I mean, lots of fun. People were playing bingo and stuff like that. It's always a good time. We're going to be opening a water park over on this side of the map.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we got a
What-
Ferris wheel that we're getting set. And
Put that marsh to good use.
yeah, we are. Yep.
Hey, I wonder what the mosquitoes are like in this area.
We probably need to be making rules for the mosquitoes.
They're big and juicy. I've been bit by them.
You'd have to burn fires around the water park to keep the mosquitoes
There
out.
you go.
We watched a reenactment of the battle maybe in about 2010 or can't remember exactly when. Probably later than that. They did the reenactment south of Borodino Village. There's like a little arena there, and that grass patch south of the word Kalacha, like that's basically sort of picnic ground, and the reenactment happens here towards the marsh. You kind of like you sit along the ravine side there.
Oh. And the reenactment is
Plenty of
happening down
mosquitoes.
there. That's cool.
The reenactment's down here, yeah.
Are the reenactors like enthusiasts, or are they kind of how does the reenactment work?
Mostly like American reenactors. It tends to be somewhat younger people, for whatever reason, and the uniforms are incredibly accurate. I mean, it's just gorgeous to watch.
Very cool. Yeah, you see sometimes the pictures of the reenactments from like Waterloo and whatnot. It looks like it's a bunch of old guys out slogging around, kind of thing. Bunch of guys that are retired from the looks of
And you
it.
guys hit save whenever you want to. By the
Oh,
way.
okay. Are you done?
Yeah. I just
Oh, okay.
replaced the battalions for the regiment. Sorry.
Cool. Because you want to have even bigger targets for me.
Exactly.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. All right. Well, that was productive.
It's
We
fun,
made a fair
everybody.
amount of
Yep.
All right.
progress.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. We'll see everyone's happy, smiling virtual faces next week.
Yeah.
Got
Good
it.
night.
Okay.
All righty.
Good night.
Good evening.
Have a
Good night.
Good night.